Hello, this is Autumn. Welcome to my video about coastal archaeology. I put the location as Ventura County, but this goes for a lot of coastal archaeological sites. And I also included pictures from Zuma, which is LA County as well. So here are my pictures from Zuma. They're kind of hard to see. Sorry I'm recording like this. I tried to record on PowerPoint and it did not work. But you can see over here, I'll kind of show you. This is a picture of some shells I just took a picture of at the beach. So this is a non-cultural just pile of shells basically. And then I want to talk about these two pictures. I can use my mouse. Since beaches are so popular, a lot of times people create paths just like in the middle of vegetation. And also there's a lot of development on beaches. So this could be bathrooms like it is in this photo, but it could also be parking lots or stairs or resorts or housing, anything like that basically. So these are photos of a local archaeology site. This is just at the beach. Is very close to the water. I want to say within 15 meters, maybe 20. It's very close in my opinion. So as you can see kind of from this picture, it's really built on like a hill. So there's here you can see the like shell midden. A midden basically means like a pile of trash basically. So these are ancient piles of trash. It could include shells, fragments of shells like in that photo. It could also have bones. It could have cultural artifacts like shell beads or lithic scatters. Anything you would find at a typical normal archaeology site, you would find at a beach archaeology site. And then, yeah. So here I just wanted to show some examples of human disturbances at the beach. I included this picture in the middle. I took this picture at the beach at the same site the other photo was taken at. I just wanted to show this picture because it I think represents how popular the beach is and how many people visit the beach on a daily basis. And then these photos on the left and the right are examples of humans impacting the sites. So this photo is like right on top of the site. It's some trash here, and that's like a common occurrence at a lot of archaeology sites. A lot of times people don't know they're there, so they can't really do much about it, but their actions still have an impact on the site. On this side, it's kind of hard to see it, but it's some burnt logs that were just placed right on top of the hill. So that's another example. Here we have some examples of coastal erosion that impacts the sites. So I wanted to include these photos because erosion has a big impact on archaeology sites, especially ones that are this close to the water. So here you can see just the huge rocks like falling off like the cliff. And on this side, you can see how much, I think this picture really shows too. You can see the footprints down here and the footprints over actually by the wall. So those really impact, they show that humans also have an impact on the erosion. Both of these walls were probably about 1 meter high, maybe a little bit more. So next I want to talk about some management efforts that go into, these are just common examples. These are not my photos, but oftentimes you'll see signs like these that say stay on the trail. These could be for environmental reasons as well, not necessarily archaeological, but a lot of times archaeology sites are meant to be kept like private and more private from the public, I guess. So a lot of times people will just use these signs to prevent people from straying off the path and destroying a site, even if they don't know what's there. You could also use fences like these to prevent people from walking onto a site. And both of these things, while they also, so both of them keep people away from an archaeology site. The fence especially is pretty good at doing that. This is a sand fence, so that's also really good for supporting the natural environment at the beach. So it helps slow down wind speeds and helps create a deposition of sand on the other side. So that also supports just the natural environment and the structure and integrity of the beach, which can help support the preservation of archaeology sites. So then this, I won't go too much into it, but these are some laws that were created to protect archaeological artifacts and sites. So the first one ever made was the Antiquities Act, and that was made for historic settlements and structures on federal land. And then there was the National Historic Preservation Act, which was the next one 60 years later. This one was created to give more policy, so it created the Advisory Council on Historic Preservation. So that is like kind of a council that assists in policy making at the federal level, and it supports Congress as well. It also requires each state to have a state historic preservation officer. So that would be one person in each state that is designated to help preserve archaeological sites and resources in their state. And then we have the Archaeological Resources Protection Act. So that one kind of created more strict policies and enforcements on people who are breaking these laws that were made before it. So that includes fines and jail time. It also, this act specifically, was also supporting archaeological sites and artifacts on public land, not just on federal land. And it was created in response to an increase in looting, despite these laws already being in existence. And then last but not least, we have the NAGPRA law, which stands for Native American Graves Protection and Repatriation Act. This is basically an act that requires federal agencies to return cultural artifacts and human remains to their tribes of which they belong. So a lot of states, specifically California, has specific versions of this. So it includes all the laws that are in NAGPRA, but they also have additions to that law. And like often it includes tribes that are not federally recognized. So yeah, that's my presentation about coastal archaeology.